Everybody, so this is near Broad and High. This crowd has been out here. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been out here for at least the last hour and a half or so. Now, I'm going to turn the camera around. What you're going to see, Columbus police keep backing up this crowd. They keep backing up more and more down North High. Right here. From the very beginning, cops have had police, they've had their riot gear on, they have helmets, they have face shields. Obviously, this is all protesting the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. We've seen these kind of demonstrations across the country.
Y'all got the mask on and everything. Y'all ready, ain't you?
Hey, slow out! These racist cops have got to go! Racist cops have got to go! All these cops have got to go!
Cadence that y'all going right now. Now there's another protest going on Livingston as well. I'm downtown. I do want to highlight
Columbus police have North High Street, a large, look at this, all the way down North High Street. Police have that blocked off. All the way back here where the protest is happening and beyond. So far, as you're seeing a lot of signs, a lot of yelling, a lot of profanity. Sorry about that. I just want to kind of stand back a little bit because let's not forget we are in the middle of a pandemic with all of this. A lot of these protesters do not wear face masks. Well, I will give credit to some of them because they do have them. But it's just something to keep in mind during all of this. It's just going to be interesting to see what Columbus police choose to do to try to get the number of this crowd down so they can reopen these streets. Police also have a large section of Broad. So here is High and Broad. At least the next block down is blocked off. And then in front of the state capitol, also blocked off down to the next light. Again, these protesters, I'm not sure why people are running. They're starting to throw water bottles and shoes at police. Columbus police, from what I have seen, have been very accommodating up until this point, letting these protesters have their say. But if protesters keep throwing things, I doubt that's going to stay the case. Again, just saw protesters throwing bottles of liquid at police, seeing them throw shoes at police over the barrier. So right here, that's the front of this line. Police are just on the other side of that. I've heard a lot of people out here saying that they kind of I guess some leaders and some of these protesters, reminding people that if police use pepper spray, to not run, to stand your ground, so to speak. So I got the call about it's about 8 o'clock, maybe a little before, that this protest was going on. It's certainly getting interesting now.
I'm gonna get out the way.
I see a lot of questions about why Columbus? Why are we protesting? Why are people in Columbus protesting? We've seen different acts of protesting like this in different states in response to the death of George Floyd. Because of that, some people feel compelled to speak up. Again, up until now, Columbus police, you see things being thrown. Columbus police have been, from what I have seen, very accommodating of this protest. They have established they've established a perimeter everywhere from High Street down to Broad Street. But this seems to quickly be turning into more of a heated protest. Bottles are being thrown, shoes are being thrown. I apologize if I'm yelling at you. I'm not quite sure how my voice is traveling.
Listen, I'm I'm
seeing different people saying that they are, you can kind of hear rumblings that police may be getting ready to use pepper spray, a deterrent to help break up this crowd.
Black lives matter! Fuck the truth! Fuck the truth!
Like I said, police up until now that I've seen have been very patient, very accommodating to this protest, letting this group of people say what they came out here to say. However, if we start seeing more things being thrown at police officers, it is not going to stay that way. I really feel like we are just moments away from police trying to shut this down.
Hey, white people, get up there and fucking protect black bodies! Don't protect the black bodies! You are fucking God! Fucking worthless! I can't
And I think there just went a whole bunch of water, somebody throwing water at police. And I think what's going to be interesting is if police use measures to back up this crowd, will this crowd heed those warnings? Or will that only stir the pot a little bit more? I'm telling you, I really think I see more and more officers getting their gear on. Which would lead anyone to suspect that this crowd is about to be dispersed, or at least attempted to be dispersed.
I believe that all forms of protest.
Okay, I think police are talking over their speakers, telling the crowd. It sounded like they said leave immediately.
White people, go out there! Go up there!
If that be the case, I think you're about to see a lot of people make a mad dash on North High Street. If police were telling them to leave, they are not listening to those warnings.
What are they clapping for?
I have no idea.
Hey, thanks for doing this.
So again, if you're just joining us, we are, some would say, the heart of downtown Columbus, High Street and Broad, state capitol, right here. This is a protest that's been going on for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. This is what is believed to be Columbus's response to the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis a couple of days ago. Police, Columbus police, can't really see them from here. They are just ahead of those signs that you see. They have their riot gear on, they have helmets, they have shields, they have face shields. Just a few moments ago, they told the crowd, at least from what I could hear, it sounded like they said leave immediately. says leave the roadway immediately. Crowd control devices may be deployed. People are not taking these seriously.
Stop! Whoa, 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 chill, chill. Don't bump me. Don't bump me.
Pepper spray is out.
Fuck the police!
Police have Police have backed him up too broad. But the crowd Are you okay? Water bottles. Water bottles are continuing to be thrown at police. They've made a perimeter here. But this crowd has not yet taken the pepper spray warning. I've seen people with sprays in their eyes, this pepper spray. People dousing them with water, trying to clean out their eyes.
You okay?
If this crowd doesn't oh, it's up my nose. If this crowd doesn't leave, it could and probably will get worse. I believe I saw police as soon as that started. Police, it looked like they took one person into custody. Somebody that was a little too close to that to their barrier. They're still over the loudspeakers saying emergency situation, need to leave the roadway. Talks about crowd control measures may be deployed again. Telling us to leave the roadway immediately once again. One thing to point out, I've seen many children out here tonight.
What side is that on?
See all this? This. That's all pepper spray. So despite multiple warnings, this crowd has not dispersed. Did my best to stay away. More chants. You can hear more chants coming from the front. Outside the Tim Hortons on High Street there at the corner of Broad. You see them there, they got the gear. Now there's a line of police all the way across Broad Street. If I could get higher, I'd show you. When they dispersed that, oh, I got some in my eye. That's so you see, I'm gonna stay on this side. Holy God. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I just took an eyeful.
I know. We did earlier.
Oh, God. Listen, as I said before, up until this point, police were very accommodating to this crowd. They were very patient. The crowd began to throw bottles of liquid and shoes. And police will simply just not put up with that. They gave them multiple warnings to leave the area. Oh, God, that hurts. And even still, you see people towards the front. They are, I wouldn't say taunting, they're not taunting, but they are continuing their protest. I don't know where the front lines would be, but this would have to be it. And I'm telling you, that spray, it spreads quick. I was probably 20 yards from the front line of that. And it still got me. Thing is, the longer this goes, the more hostile this group gets. Someone throwing what looked like a firecracker, a smoke bomb of some sort. And I can smell it. Yeah, there's another one. Just last night in Minneapolis, we saw looting going on. My God, y'all, my eyes are burning. So this is High Street, and that's Broad. So that's where police are. Once again, police coming over the speakers in their vehicles saying, emergency, leave the roadway. All of these officers have their spray ready.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
More bottles being thrown. I've seen smoke bombs thrown at police. Haley. Again, taunting. One idea that I think is the biggest takeaway here from this crowd, from what I have gathered just being here, they put all law enforcement kind of in the same basket. Of course, the situation that happened in Minneapolis, the death of George Floyd resulted after an officer pinned him down to the ground, knelt down on his neck. So a lot of people in this crowd, from the chants that I've heard, from the conversations that I've picked up on, they are grouping all law enforcement, Columbus police, Minneapolis police, doesn't matter, all police in the same bucket. Stay safe. Did you get sprayed? That stuff spreads quick. Again, I can tell you from experience tonight, that spray that they have, as soon as they let that out, it goes in 100 different directions and it travels. You feel it instantly in the back of your throat. It immediately just takes hold of your eyes. You can't see, it stings. I don't know how this person got through.
Fuck y'all! Fucking bitches! Y'all sprayed me, man!
I'm hearing a lot of cursing. I'm hearing a lot of taunting from this crowd, especially up here towards the front. Looks like police. I see the mounted unit is right here. That'll be on Broad. Again, if you're just joining us, I need to say what you are seeing, the retaliation of police here, it was not unwarranted. Protesters began to throw bottles of liquid. They began to throw shoes. I saw a couple of smoke bombs being thrown their way. And then Columbus police moved their line from back here to where you see it now at High and Broad. High, Broad. Now keep in mind, this side on North High, police have that blocked off at the next light down. Be interesting to see just how far they push back this crowd. Although I will say this is the most space I've seen in between police and protesters since I've been here. For about 2 hours now or so. I mean, we are easily talking to almost 3 dozen police officers here, just here on this line alone. Then you have them here on Broad, you have them on down on High, you have them down this way on Broad, and then down this way on High. Once again, over the loudspeakers, this is an emergency, telling people to leave the roadways immediately, or crowd control devices might be deployed. I appreciate those who have commented on my own safety. I'm really standing over here next to media, so hopefully they know that we are not here to protest, but rather just to cover the protest. I apologize for the cursing and vulgarities that you're hearing on this stream. Again, what?
Y'all fucking families gonna die tonight.
What?
Your whole fucking family.
It's baffling to some as I'm reading these comments come through. And I was talking about it a little bit earlier. This is in protest to what happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis, yet we have people here who are screaming, throwing things at police. Some may call this taunting. Looping Columbus police officers in with officers in Minneapolis. I'm seeing on Broad these officers here, they've moved up significantly.
I will die tonight. I promise you. I can't breathe.
They are now at the corner.
I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not leave. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Certainly, Tommy Burns, I understand what you're saying. A lot of people feel law enforcement just got hit with a bottle of water. Just I hope it was water. So about 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour ago is when the first round of spray hit the crowd, backed them up here to this corner, then another spray. Again, this is the most space I've seen in between police and protesters since I've been here.
You want to show to kill me? You want to show to kill me?
What's something else I've noticed is that a lot of people here are protesting. There are some, though, that seem to be here just to be here. They're here to just see what's going on. They're here, whereas this is a serious matter. I have seen so many people laughing and carrying on with their friends. Keep in mind, we're also in the middle of a pandemic. You can see from this video that there are some people wearing masks. I would say more people are not. I've seen a lot of people ask about, obviously, how this violates social distancing. I agree. What you have to remember is that these protesters have an opinion. They want that opinion heard.
Fuck these niggas talking about. Fuck is wrong with y'all hoe ass niggas? They should have gave him fuck is wrong with y'all? But y'all threatening us about getting.
And again, at least
I'll speak. Y'all dirty as fuck though. Y'all dirty. Y'all dirty. Y'all dirty as hell.
Seems like the crowd is now taking a knee.
You should have risked my man till I killed him. When you said I can't breathe.
I agree. I've seen many people say there's a big difference between protesting and violence. And again, I think that's why at the beginning of this, when the protesters were down here on North High Street, police were being very patient. They had maintained, they had established a perimeter that they were holding, but they were allowing these protesters to say their piece.
Y'all sure come now, but you ain't like this on the street though. Y'all sure say hell on the street, but y'all quick to kill us on the streets though. When there ain't no cameras, when there ain't no cameras. They very patient now with us. They very patient. They bring out their mace for us now. For the street, they bring out bullets. Y'all willing to kill us. They show real restraint. They ain't never this patient in the street. Look at my man. He real patient. I would have been killed. I would have been killed. I would have been killed. I didn't want to like my papers up. Fucking with 4-year-olds and shit. Don't worry about us. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. I don't care about that, man. You're gonna have to mace me. I don't care. I will stand right here. I'll stand right here. I'll stand. Fucking you, nigga. You stay killing those people. No closing. No closing. You closing. No local department closing.
Alright, look at that.
Everybody. Every day, yo.
That bitch ass nigga wanna mace me.
Every day.
Bitch ass nigga.
They must have maced our crowd. They must have maced you. You're looking at us dead right now.
Bitch ass nigga.
He's like, man, let's kill these niggas right now. Let's kill these niggas right now. Look at them. Look at them.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. But they don't want to create peace though. It has to be war.
Seems it's quieted down a little bit, as weird as that is to say.
We want peace. We want peace. We want peace.
There's a good distance between police and protesters. Hopefully we've seen the worst of it.
I'm already ready. They already maced me twice already. I don't care. They didn't mace me twice. That motherfucker right there. I don't got no gun. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. They gonna mace again. They gonna mace again. They gonna mace again. But we want to do more than that to stop me to shit. We want to do more than that. Do more than that. No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice!
I still see an occasional bottle being thrown. You can probably see that there.
No peace! No peace! No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
If you refuse to leave the roadway, you are subject to
Fuck
arrest.
you!
Leave the roadway immediately.
World is paid by tax All he had to do was get his neck off, get his knee off his fucking neck. He didn't have to kill him like that. He didn't have to. He could have got up and all this shit would have never happened. And then the man is dead and he's still standing on his fucking neck. What if it was you though? What if it was you though? Fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all.
Hearing a lot of George Floyd chants.
I will vote this shit. I will vote this shit.
George Floyd chants. Black Lives Matter chants.
Deep as hell though. Y'all lying skinny as hell though. Y'all need all those tools and weapons to stop this stuff. That's what y'all need. But without a badge and that belt, y'all ain't shit.
Someone's now throwing eggs.
Well, look at these murderers, man. Look at them. They ready to kill. Look at them. No, look at them. They ready to kill.
No, we ain't going nowhere.
They ready to kill, though. Look at them. Look at him. Look at him. He got his hand on that trigger on that mace. Look at him. He's plotting. Look at him, though. Look at him. And y'all looking at us like nothing. But y'all the reason why we out here today. When y'all change y'all's actions, we'll change yours. Hey, you know your kids go to school, nigga.
Here's hopefully a better view for you. This is High Street. You're looking down high right there. You can see here a better look at this perimeter that police have. Protesters are getting a little bit too close to police, more than they were a few minutes ago. If it's possible, I think this crowd has grown. Another disperse of pepper spray there. The crowd is chanting, "We can't breathe," of course in reference to George Floyd and his death a few days ago. All of these officers here have their spray in their hand. Someone just threw a firecracker in the crowd. Tony, there's a difference between protesting and violence and throwing things at police. Doesn't seem to be a very effective way to stay out here and continue this protest. So I want to show you where this started. You see this that cruiser there in the middle. Behind that cruiser is about where this started, and then police formed a line. They moved up. Then they moved up again. Now they are beyond Broad Street at the intersection. But the problem that I'm seeing is that the more officers try to control this situation, the more it is seemingly upsetting, frustrating these protesters. There's another egg splatted on the ground. See everything here from bicycle cops. The mounted patrol is back there, just underneath that red light you see. Yeah, this crowd has definitely grown. Police seem to be backing up to the corner of Broad and High.
That's why peaceful protest. You're a black man. You should be ashamed of yourself. You grew up in the same communities we did. You should be ashamed of yourself. You see your people out here dying every day.
This lady is seemingly talking directly to this police officer here, an African American man.
Take a break, asshole.
I'd say this crowd has grown by a couple hundred people since it started.
I don't see nobody here.
People lining up over by the State House.
Because they cowards. Y'all shoot unarmed
People
men.
going all the way down North High. What's strange is you have some people who are protesting, and then you have other people who perhaps they think they are protesting, but it comes off more as instigating. Those warnings continue to come out over the police officer's vehicle. Emergency situation. Telling people to leave this area immediately or crowd control measures.
The sidewalk is fair game.
For now.
Right.
Hey Bob, where's Bill? Am I with him? With him.
I told them you were over here.
We're actually on top of the there's an audio. There's an audio. You guys, I hate to leave, but I do have to find my photographer for our 11 o'clock. Live hit for 10 TV.
I went that way.
And there are people just yelling at police officers. Just standing here, listening to it.
All their names! They don't care!
I've seen a lot of questions on here. What does Minneapolis have to do with Columbus? Why are protesters yelling at Columbus police officers? Some people view this, these protesters view this as not a Minneapolis problem, but a law enforcement problem. So in protesters' minds, this is their way to stand up against wrongdoings, whether it be in Minneapolis or wherever.
That's what I said. Take us on!
Be real, y'all. Everybody got a family, right? Everybody got a family, right? Everybody know when something's going wrong.
I'll stay with you for a few more minutes, and then I got to
I think they upset because they didn't need the people
get to my live shot.
I reckon.
And you're mad. We ain't killing it. Day after day.
Look at all your
Again, this lady here has been talking directly to this officer, an African-American man, telling him that he should be ashamed of himself. She has said that you grew up in the same circumstances we did, which is very assumptive. She's telling him that he is standing on the wrong side. Oh, sorry. Standing on the wrong side of this protest.
Back away from me.
I'd love to ask her why she's taking her aggression out on that officer just because he is African American. Another day, another time, perhaps. Of course, hands up, don't shoot refers to the 2014 death of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Protesters are incorporating that here tonight as well as I Can't Breathe, which of course has to deal with George Floyd and his death just a few days ago.
We stand with our people. White people stand together.
I'm telling you, this crowd has grown. But again, there seems to be good spacing here between police officers and protesters, which is a good sign.
Damn, bro, you're popping. 38K? Jesus.
I hope you sleep good at night. Remember my voice, black man. Remember my voice, black man. You are black men just like they are. Remember that. When you take that badge off, your skin is still black. You're still black.
We, of course, have covered stories like this in the past, even right here in Columbus, dealing with this kind of tension. I've talked with police officers who say, you know, what matters to them is not it's not the color of skin. It's who is wearing the badge. And they're very quick to say, you know, don't loop in all police officers because of a few. You know, some officers, they say no doubt have made bad decisions. And they understand that, but they also want people to understand, even protesters to understand that while they have every right to have an opinion and let it be known, you know, every time I talk to a police officer, they always want people to know that even though there may be a few people, a few officers who have no doubt done the wrong thing, they are not all like that. I've been in Columbus since 2015. I've covered these kind of stories numerous times. And every time I talk to a police officer, that's what they say.
When y'all shed our blood every day, though. This is what y'all call.
Think about that.
This is what y'all call. This is what y'all call. You can't even see all the way back there no more. It's in gore with pain and hurt every day, though.
Every day.
Every day. Racism, discrimination,
Malnourishment.
Every day, a black man comes to police. 9 times out of 10, we get arrested for no reason. Just because we black. Our skin is our curve. We ain't nothing to us. We trash. We trash to y'all. We ain't nothing. No matter. Beat our ass in jail. And like man, my trees like shit. Your trees like dogs.
afraid of them. So what conversation, how do I teach my kids to be black and American? We say that wearing masks is the new norm.
Everybody, I got to hop off here. Get ready for the 11 o'clock live shot. If this crowd is still out here, which I assume they will be, after that, I'll come back on and go live again. If you want to tag along for that.
Y'all making us start because y'all killing us. Y'all setting off
I'm
the
afraid that if we get profiled or mistaken for the wrong ID, the police first thing is to shoot first and ask questions later. I don't want to wear my son on a t-shirt. I don't want to wear either one of them on a t-shirt. My kids are supposed to marry me, not me.
So again, for right now, it seems like it has
I want to put them in a bubble, homeschool them.
at least gotten more civil. Again, good spacing between officers and protesters. We haven't seen that in a while. You have some protesters even trying to further that space. So I'm going to get off here right now. If you want to join us at 11, that's coming up in about 9 minutes. After that, I will hop on here again.